Hello everyone, Jeremy here, and a while ago I did a video about this very shelf. This mostly Lego, but not all Lego shelf. And it happened so long ago, and someone recently pointed out to me that I should do an update video. And that's what this is going to be, except it's not going to be an update video about this particular shelf, simply because there's no room on this shelf. As you can see, it is all completely filled and pretty much unchanged since the last video that I did on it. So instead of doing an update video on just this particular shelf, I am going to do an overall update video on all the little collectible figures that I have managed to get, both Lego and non-Lego, since that video was filmed. So we're going to leave this shelf and go to two other areas where my figures are being displayed. So let's do that now. So this is basically my little overflow area. It's where a lot of the things go on my shelf that I just can't put on the mostly Lego shelf that's further off the ground. So here is just a look. Let's just go straight down to the point where you can see off in the blurry distance where this ends. But I just want to go and take a look at some of these things individually, tell you a little story about some of them, and we'll start with this one right here. This is the Council of Elrond set from the Lego Lord of the Rings series. And the reason why I got this a while ago, and I never did a video on it, was really just because of these trees. I really like Lego trees, and to me this particular set, it looked more like a model, almost like a little diorama, as opposed to, you know, just a standard Lego set. There's not really a lot of play features in this set, except for you hitting this little switch and Gimli comes flying off. But everything else about this, you know, I like the colors on it. I like the olive green, and I like the oranges, and I like the light brown beige pieces on it, and it just looks really nice. And these trees, actually, I made them a little bit taller than what they originally were. I actually went out on Bricklink and I bought these little leaf pieces and some of those brown trunk pieces, just so I can make the tree bigger, because that's how much I like these trees. So this is something that I really like. I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings fan, but I like this set so much simply because of the way that it looks. It's just so clean, it's so autumn, and I really enjoyed it. Now, behind the Council of Elrond lies my favorite set that I have, and this is R2-D2, the Ultimate Collector Series R2-D2. He is over 2,000 pieces, and I think I paid like $180 for him, and I actually did a video specifically for the Lego R2-D2 that I'll leave a link in the description to. And it is my favorite set, probably because, you know, it is the biggest and it is the most expensive. But at the same time, it's a really awesome testament to how talented the Lego builders, master builders are, because this is really made up of small pieces for the most part. There really aren't any huge pieces in this R2-D2, and they all go together so well, and it's just so amazing. I really like it. Alright, let's move over to these fellows right here. So this is, I did videos on these quite a while ago. What we have here is Coach Homer, Yao Ming, and Mr. Burns. And Yao Ming and Homer are from NECA's 25 of the greatest guest star lines in The Simpsons, and they were from Series 1. And Mr. Burns is from another series, maybe Series 3 or Series 4, something like that. And this Mr. Burns is modeled after the Mr. Burns in the episode where Mulder and Scully came from the X-Files, and Homer saw an alien in the woods who was glowing, and it turned out to be Mr. Burns. So this Mr. Burns actually glows in the dark. You can't tell right now, but you know, he's got that hospital robe on and those huge pupils, and his legs and his feet are just really crooked because he's delusional and he's just walking around being crazy. And that is really cool. I really enjoyed that. And here are some Lego animals. We've got a cat, a monkey, and an eagle. And although I'm pretty sure I did a video on the cat and the monkey at one point, but I never did a video on the bird, on the eagle. But you know, I do like these Lego animals. I think that these are all from the creator line. And I put the mouse that came with the cat and the bird that came with the monkey. I think I just put those off somewhere in like a box or something, because room is something that I just don't have much of, and I'm trying to get more room, but I can only put the mainstays on this shelf here. So, and I also removed the eyebrows on the cat because I thought it looked a little weird for the cat to have such prominent cylindrical eyebrows. So I just popped those off, and to me the cat looks much like a normal cat does. Alright, let's just keep moving on here, and we're getting to the Back to the Future portion of this video. So let's just get a little bit closer look of that. In the foreground, we have a Back to the Future Part 2 DeLorean. This is something that I got for Christmas. A buddy of mine got this for me, and you know, it's really cool. It's really cool. It's got some metal in there, and like I said, it's modeled after the Back to the Future Part 2 DeLorean. Mr. Fusion goes right back there, but Mr. Fusion didn't stay in very well, so over time, you know, I just lost Mr. Fusion, so he's gone. But beyond that, I have the Lego Back to the Future set with Marty McFly and Doc Brown there, and it too is in the Back to the Future Part 2 variant of the DeLorean. And you know, I really love Back to the Future, and much like, you know, a lot of other people, I felt that the DeLorean didn't quite look right. It looked a little blocky for my taste, but you know, I'm still really happy to have gotten the Doc Brown and Marty McFly minifigures nonetheless. All right, let's just move this right over into this guy here. This is from the Goblin King battle set from Lego The Hobbit, and I got this for 20 bucks at Walmart in a clearance sale. And this is not the entire set, it's actually much larger than this, but it comes like a drawbridge and, you know, a lot of other parts to it, but again, space is a problem, so I couldn't fit it all on this shelf without, you know, sacrificing the room that other things could use. So I just decided to take the throne section with the Goblin King and Gandalf, and I just decided to display that on the shelf, and when I get more room I can put the other pieces somewhere as well. And then coming down from that, we've got this right here. This is from McFarlane Toys, The Walking Dead buildable construction set line. This is Daryl Dixon and his chopper, and this is the most diorama-like piece of my entire collection. You see back there, there's also a zombie. I did a review on this, more in-depth, closer looks at everything that has to do with this set. This is really good. It has really nice detail. Let's see if I'm going to turn it this way for you so you can get a better look at it. And you build these much like how you build Lego, except it doesn't look like it. You get all the pieces in the little baggies with the square tile pieces and all that stuff, but it's just when you put it together, it doesn't look like you built it up from bricks and tiles. It just looks like a small diorama, and I think it's really awesome. And I hope that they do more of these. They have one of the prison, and then they have one of the governor's room. And I hope that they continue with this line and these figures, because I think it's really unique and it can just get better with all the feedback that they get. Now moving on to more Lego stuff, and I did a video on this set a long time ago as well. This is one of the Lego creator houses. I forget exactly what this house was called, but I love it. I love the Lego houses that are filled in on all four sides, not the ones that are hollow in the back, because I really don't have any intention of playing with it. I just want to set it up and just admire it for its building prowess. And my favorite thing about this particular set is, of course, up top, the light brick. Still works. After all these months, it still works. It's a great house, and it does open up. If you wanted to open it, there's like a seam right along here that you can just open up the house if you wanted to get on the inside. But there's not a lot going on the inside. You can of course build your own things and put it in there, but right now it's just a couch really, and a little lamp. And then it has a garage. There's a little car in the garage, and then the man who is playing with his remote control car, and the woman who is up at the top of the balcony just kind of looking down and admiring the scenery. So move on from there, and we've got these collection of guys right here. What we have here on the right, we've got Master Chief from Halo, which is magnetic, and we've got Urdnot Grunt from Mass Effect 2 and 3. We've got Thane from Mass Effect 2 and 3, and then over in the background here we have the Borderlands Psycho, like one of the most common enemies in the game. And the cool thing about this Master Chief is that he's magnetic. These parts, his arm and his legs and his head and some of the armor pieces, they're all attached by magnets. So it's not like you're building it per se. You're really just more of setting those magnets together, and they have not yet lost their magnetism. And because they're magnets, they have a little more of a smoother range as far as articulation goes, so you're able to pose him more easily than you might have with like ball joints and hinge joints and things like that. You just have to make sure that magnet stays in contact with the other magnet so that they don't fall to pieces. And you know, Halo, I never really got into Halo, but my god, do I respect it, and I think that is a great little figure there. And then Urdnot Grunt from Mass Effect, when NECA was doing the Mass Effect line of characters. And if there's one thing that I totally regret, it's not buying more of these. I really wasn't too into collecting figures back when this line was really in the stores, but when I started, unfortunately I missed out on getting like Shepard and Miranda and Morden and all the other cooler characters, and I ended up, only ones I was able to get in the actual store were Grunt and Thane here. I can't remember if I ever called him Rex. If I did call him Rex, I apologize. That is not Rex, that is Urdnot Grunt. And then the Psycho from Borderlands. I did a video review on him a long time ago as well, and I really liked him because of the cell shaded look, great paint, all around, really great figure. And then lastly, on this side, we have a Smoker. This is from Left 4 Dead, and I got this on clearance at ToysRUs.com. I think it was $5, and I had it shipped out to me, and the shipping was free because I had like Shop Runner or something like that. And shortly afterwards, the price went right back up. So that was a good thing that I managed to get them while I did. And then last but not least, another Star Wars piece here. This is the X-Wing Starfighter. Not a huge Star Wars fan, but I really do know a good ship when I see one, and the X-Wing is one of those ships. The wings are not up yet. They're not up right now. They're down. So the rubber band still should have a pretty nice elasticity to them. But yes, this is the X-Wing. No room on the Lego shelf, but it is well served sitting here on my dresser, because that's what this thing is. This is a dresser. My clothes are in here. But this is just where I have to put these figures for now. So yeah, this is just a look at some of my overflow of collectible figures that I have gotten over the past many months or so. But hang on, we are not done yet. There is still one more place in here where the figures are being displayed. This is usually what you see when I first start my videos, this sort of backdrop of all these little figures that I've collected over the past several weeks and months. Except the difference here is that I moved the minifigures from the back row to the front row. And I did that because the taller figures I have here, the 4-inch, the 6-inch, and the 7-inch figures, they were literally towering over the minifigures and hiding them. And I wanted to bring them out more, so I just moved the larger figures to the back and moved the minifigures to the front row. And I think that makes it look a little bit better. Everything that you see here on this shelf, I either did a video on already, or I will soon publish a video on them individually. But most of these you've probably seen already, but in case you haven't, let's give them their individual attention right now. And let's start with this guy. This guy here, this is Donkey Kong, and this particular Donkey Kong I got in a Happy Meal at McDonald's because this is from Mario Kart 8, and McDonald's had a collection of Mario Kart inspired cars and stuff and characters, and I wanted to see what they were going to be like, so I bought a Happy Meal for the first time in like forever, just to see what this was like. And there's a video on my channel about that too. But then we can just take a look at his bigger brother. This is a 6-inch Donkey Kong from the Jakks Pacific World of Nintendo line. Now he is 6 inches, unlike the Yoshi and the Mario and the Wario, and the Link, which are only 4 inches. And he costs about $14.99, which is a pretty decent price considering what you get. And even though he's only about 2 inches taller than the Mario and the Yoshi and the others, he's so much more girthy and muscular and big like that. You know, it makes it so that the scale makes sense. So when you put Mario next to Donkey Kong, he's not just 2 inches taller and that's it. You know, he is just massive compared to Mario, and I really like that attention that they gave that as far as how the size scales, not just height but everything else. All right, so down here we've got Daryl Dixon right there. You can kind of see him. This was a Funko blind box, Walking Dead blind box, I believe, and Daryl was one of the more common figures. And then we also have Yoshi and Mario, Wario, and we have Dancing Groot and Deadpool, and I think these two are kind of freaking adorable sitting there together. And these are Funko Pop vinyl bobbleheads, and no, these are great if you're not into bobbleheads, and I understand because I wouldn't consider myself into bobbleheads either, but these really don't look at them as just being bobbleheads. These are really much like the other vinyl figures. Just because, you know, their heads move doesn't make them any less relevant or cheap or anything like that. They are still really good regardless of the fact that their heads move. And I just got that Deadpool today, actually, at the time that I'm recording this video, so he is the newest character on this particular shelf. And I am a huge Simpsons fan, if you guys have not known that yet. And some of the figures I have on display here. This is Marge in her business suit. That was from an earlier episode of The Simpsons where she worked at the nuclear power plant. This is also part of NECA's 25, the greatest guest stars line of The Simpsons. And Marge is part of the latest series. But in the earlier series, we have Britney Spears as well as Mark Hamill. And I also managed to get this Link figure here. This Link is from the Jakks Pacific World of Nintendo line, and he has been the hardest character to find. I think it's been that way since the very beginning, but I found him in a Kmart about 30 minutes from where I live. Never went to that Kmart before, just went there just because, and there he was. I ended up spending a little bit more on Link than what the actual retail price was originally meant to be, but it was worth it because, you know, he's just so hard to find. And also we have here Batman. This Batman is from NECA's line of 8-bit collectible figures that are based on old video games. And this Batman is based on a 1989 video game that came out on the original Nintendo console. And it's really cool because you can tell just by the colors, it's purple and it's blue and it looks really weird, but that's how Batman looked in the game at that time. And this is something that NECA has been doing with Friday the 13th and with the Nightmare on Elm Street, and they've done it with Rocky, and they've done it with RoboCop, and they've also done it with Rambo. This is another one of NECA's figures from their line of 8-bit collectibles. This is Rambo from First Blood Part 2, and I got this from Toys R Us, the same Toys R Us that I got this Batman from, and he was about $24, which was kind of like the usual Toys R Us markup, but he is so good. This is such a great figure, and I love how he came with his bow, and you can pose him with the bow, and he's holding the string, and so much posability out of this Rambo. It is really, really good. In fact, I think I like this Rambo more than I like the Batman, because Rambo, he can stand up on his own much easier than Batman. I had a hard time getting Batman not to fall over himself, but Rambo stands pretty good, and you know, it's just a great cell shaded like look for him. I know I'm spending a lot of time on these, but can you tell I'm really into them? Okay, now towards the bottom row, we can see these minifigures. Now, a lot of these minifigures are not official Lego minifigures. They are ones that I bought from an eBay seller based in China. I knew that they were not real Lego, but I was curious to see what the quality was going to be, because I hear the quality of these unofficial Lego figures has really stepped up, and I wanted to, just pick them up and see what they were like. They were extremely cheap, and these were figures at the time that Lego never made. So here's Cyclops, and you can kind of see the little beam coming out of his hand, which is supposed to be coming out of his eye, and the other one fell off somewhere. Behind Rambo's left leg is Wolverine, and then here's the Fantastic Four, Johnny Storm, Sue Storm, Invisible Woman, Mr. Fantastic, and the Thing, which Lego is going to make minifigures based on those. Those will be official soon enough. And then we've got Phoenix here, followed by Odin, Green Arrow, Captain America, Black Widow, and behind Krusty, right next to Black Widow, is the Winter Soldier. And some of these figures came out pretty well considering their unofficial evil, because it's from China status. There's Batman, and when I say evil because it's from China, you couldn't see, but I was using air quotes. I personally don't see a problem with it. I kind of just see these as being more like custom minifigs that anyone else can make. So it's not really saying it's Lego. So anyway, here's the Joker that at the time, Lego didn't make a Joker that kind of looked like Heath Ledger's Joker, but there is a Joker out there like that now, so that's a thing. And then also these Dragon Ball Z minifigures, which were the best. They came out so well. Super Saiyan Goku, Vegeta, then you got Gohan kind of hiding back there behind Krusty, and then Master Roshi, Krillin, and Yamcha. Those were the best of the figures that I got from China. Really cool stuff. And then we've got Spider-Man and Venom also from that same eBay seller. And bringing it back to The Simpsons, like I said, I'm a huge fan of The Simpsons, and my intention was to collect all of The Simpsons Lego minifigures, but I just couldn't do it. Life got in the way. Just kind of put it like that, and I couldn't get them all. Maybe I still will, eventually, but for now I just have Marge and Bart, Lisa, Maggie, one of two Krusties, Mr. Burns, Apu, Nelson, and Scratchy. And then right here, this little car here, that's the Homer. It is from Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels made a made a die-cast metal car based on the old episode of The Simpsons where Homer met his brother Herb, and he went to go stay with them, and Herb had a car manufacturing plant, and he let Homer design a car for his company, and this is the car that Homer came up with, and it was just horrible, inefficient, and it ended up costing each person who wanted to buy it like $80,000, which, you know, at that time, the early 90s, $80,000 for a car, forget it. So I ended up putting Herb out of business, and it was just so awesome that I found that car, and I found it in Kmart, much like the Link. Actually, I bought the car and Link at the same time. So I'm just going to tone down the brightness here, and this is basically the last place in this room that displays my various figures. So there's about 3 shelves in here that have figures on them, and this is going to be the last place where I put them, because I don't have the room to do this much anymore. You can just kind of look down. That's how much space I have left to put on this table, and that's not a lot. So as I continue to look for additional space, more space, so that I can put these figures, you know, maybe just on a series of shelves that span the room, you know, it'll be like walking into a nice little wonderland, and it'll give me the opportunity to have more space to record my videos on, because I won't have these figures blocking the table like this. But anyway, it's just an updated look at all the little figures and thingies that I've collected since the past video I made about my Lego shelf, my mostly Lego shelf, and this is just all that I have now. So in the future, when I do get more space, I do plan on making another video just sort of showing where all this stuff is going to go. It'll be more organized and kind of just spaced out based on the specific themes. So all the Simpsons things are going to go together, and all the Lego things will go together, all the Nintendo things will go together, and, you know, it'll just be more cohesive that way. But until then, this is what I got. If I come across some more cool figures that I just can't make myself not buy, I will do a video on it, because I can't help myself. There's a problem I don't want to fix anytime soon. So thanks so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Jeremy, and I'll talk to you later.